Let's wait for a minute and see if YouTube will let y'all know I'm in here. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Good afternoon to everyone. I have been super under the weather. Been under the weather a whole bunch, and I'm live again. So hopefully they will let y'all know that I'm live so we can have some conversations. I'm really excited about it. Oh, somebody hit the like button. Praise the Lord. So happy that y'all made it in. Welcome. Hey, Miss Lovely T. I've been trying to keep up. You guys know I have, those of you from my main channel, y'all know I've not been my strongest. And I'm trying to come back from not feeling well. Hey, Mo. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all for coming on in here. We got to go over a couple of things. And I want to introduce some ideas that I'm having about what I think is going on, because I think it's some very interesting things that are happening right now. Some very interesting things that are going on. So I can't wait to get into that with you guys. All right. So we are definitely going to dig in. So yeah, y'all come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we got to talk about what's happening. Yeah, I've been so far out of the loop. I've been trying my best to keep up with what's happening online, with the news, with gossip, with everything. I have, like I said, I've been trying to get myself together. I've been completely weak. Hi, Towering Tutu. Welcome. So, well, y'all saw the topics. I hope you did. I want to discuss the current media blitz that's happening to President Trump. I find it interesting. And what I find more interesting is that more people are not asking questions. I mean, I would think after everything we've gone through over the last, I would say 6 to 8 years, we should be asking questions. Hey, Elisa Mart. Hey, Random Shorts. I'm doing pretty good. I was feeling weak for the last couple of weeks. I've been really, really under the weather, which is why I haven't been on this channel. And I just been trying to pop in on my main channel as much as I can. But what I'm concerned with, y'all, is why we have not been asking more questions as citizens. Anytime we see mainstream media um, go after one person heavily, we need to ask questions. What is this really about? I'm noticing, and what I've noticed, y'all please hit the like button as you come in. Either double tap the screen or hit the three dots at the top. Thank you, Random Shorts. Hey, Tawanda. Hey, guys. I don't know who you are, but DS is here. She's got a wrench and she does not play, so please behave yourselves. Um, so, yeah, this is the thing, right? I'm very, very concerned. You double tapped. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, DS. Why, thank you, dear. Sim. So, look, I noticed that there appears to be, this is just my opinion, and it's not for nothing, but it's my opinion that our current president is under a media attack. The reason I say that I believe that President Trump is under a media attack is because literally any move he makes, they're blowing it up. Everything is like amplified to 100 miles an hour. Okay, so we got an idiot. Apparently he thinks breasts come on men. You must be a Democrat. So we're going to get you out of here, okay? My channel is called Black Not Blue for a reason. Democrats, for whatever the reason is, they seem to be very hateful. They come into people's live streams. They they yell insults for no reason. Hey, Evolution 101. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I'm not strong today. Like I've been weak the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm tired. I'm super, super tired. Oh, you're British. I don't know whether that's good or bad. This is an all American channel. You're welcome to hang around as long as you know how to behave. Yeah. But yeah, so everybody here knows, we're all American, and I want us to let's get this person out of here playing games in my stream. Now, um their allies, Christopher. Well, we gotta see. We gotta see. The bottom line is the bottom line is that, you know, everybody. Okay, thank you, Sim. Then you are welcome. Mods, anybody you see misbehaving, don't ask questions, just delete them. Because I do want to talk to, some Americans about what's going on and what's happening and what we're seeing. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I do believe that our current president is under attack, right? I believe that. But I think we got to look at the bigger picture as to why. Like, there's a big why going on, and we're not talking about it. And I think we should. And y'all know, just as a disclaimer for the people who are not used to this channel, this is your first time stumbling upon us. Everybody here is mainly friendly. We want to hear your opinion about what's going on, but we also want you to be respectful, because if you are not, you will be blocked. I would prefer it if y'all didn't curse on my channel, but if you just feel like you must, please, misspell your curse words and all that stuff, and make sure you give your opinion and don't insult anybody. Opinions are great, but don't insult anyone else for their opinions, because we're going to respect everybody's opinions, even if it's somebody we don't, agree with, right? So this is where we come to say what we need to say. Keep all rude, vulgar commentary to yourself. Keep insults to yourself. Keep any racial slurs to yourself. Not just for me, for anyone in my chat. The only colors we recognize on this channel is red, white, and blue. If you are not an American, if you are not for America, if you are not pro-America, this is not your channel. Also, there will be no flags in my chat unless they are the American flags, okay? Thank you. So hopefully we're all on the same page. That's right, Zigzag. If you can't keep your rude comments to yourself, we'll see you later. We'll see you next time. Okay? Hey, Glenn. Welcome, guys. Hey, Adrienne Marie. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm paying attention to what's happening. See, we got one that can't behave themselves. But I meant what I said. The only flags in my chat will be American flags. If we see you flying anybody else's flags, you're just going to be blocked, and we're not going to make a big deal. Okay? All right. And we're not here to, discuss anybody else's problems. If they have a problem, in their country, we'll pray for you. We will send prayers. That's what we can do. We can send prayers. Mark, is it? We're not discussing pop culture trending topics. I'm not concerned with Diddy. Okay, so back to what I'm saying. The whys. As to the whys, our current president is under attack. I think there are numerous reasons. Okay. I think reason number one is his stance on immigration. I believe that because the Democrat Party has become the immigrant party. And I think most of us who are Americans who are not interested in putting the interests of foreign entities above American citizens, I think we can all see that. Okay? I think we can all see that. So what I personally think is that in and of itself. Sim, why are you asking me about Epstein? Can you stay on topic? Because you already told us you're not American, and I'm just, I'm trying to work with you, but you're making it very, difficult. Okay, you're making it difficult, dear. And I don't want to have to block you. But I think his stance on immigration. I am, but we're talking about the media attack, so please keep up, or there are other options. Okay, get this one out of here. It's like asking me for damn Epstein files. I don't have Epstein files. I have menopause. Hope that helps. Um, I think that, well, Revelations 19:11. I'm not talking about the reporting. What I'm talking about is when the reporting gets weird and we start seeing things that are like exaggerated. Perfect example, right? And of course, I'm here for y'all's opinion. So I want to know what y'all think. Please tell me what y'all think. You're right. Israel is not America, and I'm not pro Israel either. Okay. But when NPR reported on his meeting with Putin, I thought it was weird that they were like, oh, the meeting fell short. It was a failure. And I'm like, but don't y'all want these people to stop fighting? If you want to end the war, don't you have to meet with both sides? I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's a whole lot of exaggeration. Anytime he makes a move in any direction, it seems like a whole lot of exaggeration. I agree, Xavier. So I'm just like, you know, I'm not a fangirl of anybody, right? There's not anybody that I can say, oh, I'm a stan of this person. I really love these people. Don't say anything about them. I don't think that. But what I do think is that something weird is going on. And I'm always paying attention. I am always paying attention. Something weird is going on. Tamar Bowles, whoever you are, I'm not defending Trump. I'm paying attention to what's going on. Because I have to live here. Like maybe you're a foreigner or something and you have another country you can just abscond to when things don't go great. But some of us live here. This is our home for generations. So we have nowhere else that we want to go and live. So we do have to actually pay attention to what's going on. We have to ask questions. Is Tamar like Lamar? Okay. All right, Tamar. Thank you. Because I don't want to mess up your name. My name is a mouthful too. But yeah, I got to pay attention and I'm going to ask questions. Thank you, Francisco. You got to ask questions. I'm sorry. The bottom line is for the last easily 8 to 10 years, I said 6 to 8, but easily the last 8 to 10 years, we have seen enough with our government and the larger media companies, legacy media, doing some weird stuff. Hi, Robert. And when they start zooming in on one person and it's like hammer it, hammer it, hammer it, I ask questions. Like, I don't know about anybody else. I'm not a sheep. I have a right to ask questions. Hi, Tempe Mays. Welcome. Like, in reality, I just like to, I want to know what's going on. I want to understand what's happening. I need to understand what's happening. And I'm more concerned with why other people are not asking what's happening. Number one, that immigration issue, hot button. Okay, so let's get this British person out of here. It's probably one of those Africans. So like we're gonna get you right out of here. Just so you know, we have more immigrants on using social services than anybody. And some of us are not on social services. Like we literally pay taxes so other countries can be parasites and eat off of our earnings. So that's great, right? Tamar Bull says, can you honestly say, well, don't ask me a question, give me an opinion. And I'm actually doing okay, if that helps. Except for my health. Like, I feel really weak. Now that I can't help. Right, Arjizzle, they don't like it. They don't like it one bit. And Tamar, yeah, eggs and stuff have gotten cheaper where I live, so I don't know about you. John H., they did go to that nasty island, but we're talking about what's happening with the media and why they're trying to skew us in a certain position. Like at this point, I'm just going to be very transparent I don't trust the media. I don't. I'm just going to be honest. I don't trust the media at all. I don't. So anything that happens and I see them make like a, kind of circle their wagons around one person, I know that that's a sign that that person is only not doing what they want them to do. Adrienne Marie said eggs went down where she lives too. So, you know, that's kind of what it is. Mods, be on your toes because we got a lot of blocking to do until we get rid of the weirdos. So I think the immigration issue is such a big deal. Jay Haynes, I don't really trust Fox either. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust Fox. I don't trust Fox, and I don't think you should either. I think anything that comes out of legacy media, mainstream media, we need to ask questions. We need to question everything. We need to question everything. We need to question everything. There's no way that we should watch something like that go down and we don't say, let's see what else is attached to this, right? So, Bentley, that's a good point. People can look at Newsmax, but there are other. I don't know who you are, Bella, but you can let me help you off my channel. Nobody tells me what to say. I won't control what you say. You don't control what I say. Nobody should insult anyone on this channel. Everybody can have an opinion. Okay, Francisco says, I don't trust anyone, no mayor, no news, no politician. Like, who can you trust? How do you know what's real and what's not? At this point, I guess we just have to pray and use our common sense, research everything. What I was about to say is that what we can do is there are certain platforms you can use that lets you check news on many different news sites. So you can check some liberal sources, some conservative sources, some independent sources, and then kind of see where the stories intersect to figure out what is true. And I'm going to delete you too, Devin. I'm not going to deal with people telling me what to say because I won't tell you what to say. So you won't do it to me either. You'll learn to be respectful and live like a civilized person, or you will go somewhere else. Hi, Julie. Okay, Enlightened Mind said Ground News is the best site to find news on. They show both sides. That's what I like too. I like the idea of seeing both sides. And you, Vet for Democracy, I'm not going to block you yet, but I will warn you. Not only is this an American channel, dear, this is a Christian channel. So if Christians disturb you or you think you can be blasphemous or disrespect Christians or God on this channel, this is not the channel for you either. Hope that helps, right? So anyhow, I think the immigration thing, back to that, was such a big deal. Hi, Dee Dee. Yep, Jesus is Lord. John H., that's right. Okay. So I think that was such a big deal because we're seeing a lot of countries kind of follow suit as far as their citizenry, even though the governments of those countries in Europe are not listening to their citizens. The citizens are taking cues from the Americans like they usually do. All right, Tamara, if you don't do organized religion, that's your business. Just make sure you respect my God on my channel or you can go. Okay? Because this is very much a Christian channel. Hope that helps. But a lot of them are absolutely following suit. So we saw the citizens in Spain stand up to defend themselves. They're fighting back against the illegal immigration. They do not want those people there. France, same thing. I just saw an anti-immigration protest. I believe it was in England. The people are standing up. The people are fighting back. It's crazy. Hi, Demon France. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't care who you worship, just as long as you don't disrespect my God. God bless you. Okay. Hi, Carla Jones. Well, welcome. That's right, Vita. We have, listen, I'm going to say this really quick because that's part of what's happening with the whole immigrant. And I'm tired of saying immigrant. the whole illegal alien invasion is to push us away from Christianity, is to criminalize and demonize Christianity and make us feel like we're doing something wrong by going to church, by being God fearing, by being respectful people, by being, yes, please post the ICE tip line. That is a beautiful thing to do. You are welcome to do that here. Pretty please with the cherry on top. Okay? Because anywhere you think you see people who are not supposed to be here, please report them. Okay? Right, our jizzle. Illegal alien. This immigrant crap is getting on my nerves because what they're doing is trying to use a euphemism for something that is very nefarious. It is to remove the national identity of people, and it's also so they have more agents in place to demonize Christianity and to attack Christian people. Okay? Memphis, yes. We're going to get to Jasmine and her crooked self because I don't like Jasmine Crockett. I don't like what she represents, and I don't like what she does. But back to what I was saying, right? The world is taking cues from Americans. Like, we've literally had people to suspend their elections after what happened here. And I agree, Tilly, Georgia. They need to assimilate or stay where the heck they're from. Don't even come over here. Um, they know that people take cues from us. After what happened in November, some of them suspended elections because they did not want their people to be able to vote and get people in that would actually give them change. Everybody does not. What do you mean? Okay, let's get you out of here. I'm not even gonna play with you. I'm not. Like, move on with the slave talk. Move on with the slave talk. We don't want to hear it. There are no slaves in America right now. Okay, there are some other places you can go and find some slaves, but you won't find them in America. So I hope that helps. That's right, Bentley. Bentley, let me give you a wrench. If you see somebody being rude, I'm going to make you a moderator, Bentley. I'm going to trust you to hold me down, okay? If you see someone being rude or saying bad things, all you have to do is tap their name and hide them from the channel. That will block them, okay? All right. So that's number one. Number two, I personally believe, and I want to know what y'all think too, I personally believe the other reason that immigration is such a hot button, and one of the reasons why he's being attacked. I know, Bentley, Democrats are some of the most racist people on the planet. They're very rude, very insulting. So when you see them, don't ask any questions. You have full permission to do what you got to do, okay? Thanks. But yeah. So I personally think, and I want to know what y'all think. I think that that was one of their means of stealing money. They were able to get money by disguising it as, oh, we're giving this many million to this sanctuary city. We're giving that many million to that sanctuary city. And I think that all of these things were happening right under our nose, and it was literally camouflage for theft is what I think. So I do want to know what you think. Okay, Pedro says NGOs were making over $250,000. Yeah, I think that's why it was a whole lot of stealing going on. It was a whole lot of stealing going on. And I think that's another reason why. Yep, and the FEMA money, our jizzle. Okay, so we got one blasphemous person. David, let's get you out of here. I keep telling y'all, do not disrespect my God. You can talk about politicians, you can call them names, but you will not disrespect my God in here. Jesus is Lord, and if you can't respect that, you got to go somewhere else. Okay? And if we catch you insulting anyone in the chat, myself or anyone in the chat, you're going to be deleted. Okay? So that's one thing. Another reason that I think that he definitely is under media attack is because of the way he's trying to handle the situation between Russia and Ukraine. No, you don't have free speech. If you want to insult God, go somewhere else and freely do it. You cannot freely do it here. So I hope that helps. Let's go ahead and get you out now, because apparently respecting the Lord disturbs your sensibilities. So we're going to help you go. We're going to help you leave. But I think that that's a delicate one. I'm glad that he's dealing with it. I'm glad that he's trying to end that situation, because there was a lot of theft. There was a lot of theft going on with us funding Ukraine. Hi, Jerry Anderson. There was a lot going on. The fact that, to me, I think that my red lights started flashing when they did not want to track the weapons they were sending. When they wanted no RFID chips on the weapons they were sending to the Ukraine, immediately red flags went off in my head. Why are we not tracking this? Like, why is this not happening, right? Also, when there was a plane crash, if y'all remember that, put a 2 in the chat. There was a plane crash in the middle of everything, like maybe not even the first year after we started sending stuff over there. And when it crashed, there were weapons there. I think it crashed in Greece. Okay, so y'all remember when that happened and there were weapons and they were heading to Jordan and heading to other places. I was like, what in the world? Why would those weapons be on that plane? Why is this happening? Everything to me said they're not telling the truth. This is why they did not want those weapons tracked. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Massive, massive problem, right? So then, yes, David Campos, those PPP loans were a thing too that kind of made me feel like that's a little weird. That doesn't add up. But it was just so many things. And I think that also that USAID issue is another reason why Trump is being targeted. So I'm just watching. You know what I mean? He's a human. So there's not any person on this planet that I'm going to look at and say, oh, you're above sin. You can't do nothing wrong. Sure, he can. And when he's doing something that I don't approve of, I got a lot to say. Helping Israel at all, I had a whole hissy fit, and some of y'all know it. I had a whole hissy fit because a lot of us really were signing up for America First. I don't want to hear about anybody receiving money from America until we get our books balanced, until we get this budget under control, until we get interest rates where they're supposed to be. Like, that's literally all I want to hear about is America First. That's it. So when that happened, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was ticked off. I was ticked off. I was upset. I was just outdone. Completely outdone. Okay, I agree, Kaylin. Charity does begin at home. And I was not okay. I was not okay with that. But when I start seeing that it's a whole big thing where we're just, one person is just being hammered in the news over and over and over, I'm like, yeah, it's giving media attack. They did this before. We saw this with the whole Russiagate. We saw it when Hunter's laptop came out and everybody flooded the news cycle. Oh, it's a Russian hoax. And then we find out that none of that stuff was true. None of it. So by the time I start seeing this blitz, this media blitz, my antennas went up. I was just like, okay, what is happening this time? Why is it happening? What is it about? Okay, well, y'all, David Campos has an opinion, because I love opinions. This is the place where you can share an opinion and we will not let anyone disrespect you. David says it won't happen. He only cares about the rich, and it's beyond obvious with his big, beautiful bill. Okay, that's David's opinion. Okay, I don't know who this person is, and I don't know what a farther community. Farther than who? Let's get you out of here. It's given English is not your first language. Dan K wants to know what y'all got from somebody. He's asking a bunch of questions. He's not giving us opinions. Okay, Tilly Georgia says that's correct. Too late, Powell. The board of the Fed Reserve don't like Trump. Oh yeah, Jerome Powell. That's a problem. Charles, it happens every time I go live. That's why when I was feeling kind of weak, I didn't, because I knew I didn't have the energy or the strength to kind of deal with the troll army. I don't know why they troll me like that. Hey, Gordon. But they come to get me every time. Lane, you so funny. We did that like a few lives ago, dear. You got to catch up, Chris Thomas. Okay, Stinker Poo. I like your name. Well, when it comes to APEC, I think that's, to me, this is just my opinion. I'm just an old lady with an opinion. I think that's a conflict of interest, and I don't think they should be allowed to be in government and have alliances to other countries. Now, that's what I think, okay? Dee, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Y'all welcome. Charles, they are tiresome. Well, David Campos, I think that more than one person can be a problem, right? Can we tell the truth? Or do we have to act like politics is team sports? Can we be honest? Is it okay? Because some of the things in the big beautiful bill I would have liked to see more of, some I would have liked to see less of, but we can't pretend like Jerome Powell doesn't have a hand in some of the things that's going on, and that the Fed isn't a bit of a problem. We haven't always had the Federal Reserve. We operated without it. Now we're operating with it. I don't know. If it was disbanded, would we be better? Okay, Chris, let's get you out of here. Apparently, they can't just have conversations. Democrats are exhausting. Okay, now Craig Williams has an opinion. Hi, Craig. Craig says President Trump was the start. Now we the people must clean out the House and the Senate. I agree. I agree. Hey, RJ Roberts. Southbound redneck. Actually, I am. But thank you. You're nice. You're talking to a granny. Okay? So let's kind of get into it. Let's kind of get into it. Right, Carla? They're very exhausting. I don't have the strength. Peggy, Renfro, Google is your friend. Right, William. We need term limits, but I'm going to tell you something else before we get into the Jasmine Crockett of it all, right? We need term limits, but you know what else we need? Even more than term limits. And y'all probably going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is my channel and we should all be able to give opinions, even me. I think our other issue is that we have to, especially now, more than ever, right? We have to start vetting the people that are running for public office. What I mean by that is when they start running for public office, I don't care at what level. I don't care if it's school board, your local alderman, your city councilman, I don't care. We have to start vetting these people that are running for office. Okay? And we need to make sure, right, faith and repentance. I love your name too. We got to make sure that they're not a part of the old boys, the bad old boys club. And we also need to make sure that these people are not immigrants. And I mean it. I don't care how it sounds. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. We need to make sure that the people we're voting for are not immigrants. And 93S94 is correct. We need to make sure they're not APAC. Those are things we need to make sure of when the next voting cycle begins. We do not need to vote these people into office again. If we find out they are immigrants, we don't need to vote for them. If we find out that they are the children of immigrants, they're like first generation naturalized whatever birthright bull crap, we don't need to be voting for these people. They were raised in homes with ideologies that are completely contrary to the American way of life, and we don't need to vote for these people. We do not need them in office, because the Democratic Party, almost, I won't say every seat, but doggone it, a whole lot of them are not American citizens, and they're not the children of American citizens. And these people do not need to be making decisions surrounding law and and order and justice and policy that affects American citizens. That should not happen. That is crazy. That is crazy town. Because at that point, anyone who wants to dismantle this entire country, all they got to do is move in and lay a couple of eggs, and next thing you know, their kids are in Congress voting to take away all your rights. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it just doesn't. Charles says, I'm sorry, but it's hard to show respect to ignorant trolls with no facts. Count me in as a new subscriber because I love smart, like-minded women who can control their emotions. Thank you, Charles. You're welcome. Algier, thank you. A lot of people, they think like if you're on the internet or they can see your face anywhere, it's okay to just insult you randomly. Well, Frank, I call them all the bad old boys. What would you like me to call them? Right. I agree. Well, EB, and I haven't been young for a long time, but thank you for the compliment. We are not all immigrants, actually. We're not. We're not all immigrants. I hope that helps. Ray Brown says, or Muslim. I mean, Ray, is that fair, though? If they're American citizens, I don't really care who you worship. Like, I don't think we should force them to be Christians to be voted in, but I do think we need to make sure we're at least dealing with American citizens who are voting for things that concern our way of life and are not willing to take away our rights in order to make us more like their home country. Carla says you're exactly right, and not just vote for them because they are good looking, like Newsom and Cali. Smiling Demon has ruined my hometown. I agree. I'm going to tell you something else too, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, really unpopular opinion, right? But listen, a lot of the immigrants, okay, EB, get out of here. You give opinions, you don't do insults, dear. Everybody doesn't have to agree with you. Learn to be an adult. Adults disagree and they still have normal discourse, right? So listen, a lot of the immigrants that come here and get into politics, believe it or not, camouflage under proximity to people with my complexion. I want y'all to think about that for just a minute. Hear me out before y'all say, oh, no, you're wrong, blue, you're wrong, black, you're wrong. Before you do that, let me explain what I mean. A lot of them come here and they hide under proximity to people close to my complexion. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's true, Kiam. They come in, they watch us on television all over the world. A lot of your entertainers are black folks from right here in America. Right, Ray Brown, just like Kamala Harris. I always mess up her name because I don't really like her. But they watch us everywhere. They learn how we speak. Obama too, that's true. They learn our slang, or they'll learn at least, a dialect from one or two southern states. Because most of them don't know us well enough to realize that the South has many different accents, but to foreigners, They think Southern is just one thing, right? So they try to get like this whole Southern preacher vibe thing that they do. And they come in and pretend to be people who look like me. Cheryl, I agree. Jasmine is absolutely a big example of that. So this is why we have to be careful. And this is why the Democratic Party is so dangerous. Because they started off by gaining the trust of Americans who look like me. And then once they had the trust of the majority of Americans who look like me, they brought in a bunch of people from other places who don't really look like me, but their complexion is close enough that they can cosplay. And then they try to play identity politics. And then they come around folks who look like me and they say, hey, I'm just like you, vote for me. Don't ask about any policies. Don't ask about my platform. Just vote for me because my skin is somewhat kind of like yours. So just vote for me. And then once they get in office, they only vote to support issues that will either, one, help them steal money from the U.S. government, or two, dismantle the American way of life in favor of illegals that come from other places. We have to pay attention. Misty, girl, welcome. I hope you subscribe and come back because I will always say it out loud. Hey, Dougie. That's what happens. That's what they do. It's been happening, and it's like when you call it out, then you're the bad person for saying it. I'm gonna say it. Joan, I'm not misinformed. I'm a person who's had this complexion my whole life. And I've watched people who have complexions that are similar to ours, hey Queena, pretend to be us, get in office. They do a bunch of jive talk. I'ma talk like this. And then once they get in there, they vote for illegal immigrant issues. They vote to send money to other countries. They vote to take away rights from American citizens because they're not interested in building America. They're not interested in making America any better. They're only interested in their agenda. And their agenda is never to make America better. It's only to dismantle and pick us clean. That's their only agenda. Yep. See, lag plays, y'all, has a good point in the comments. Hillary and her dang hot sauce. You're right. See, that was not working anymore. Just showing up in neighborhoods with people who look like me eating chicken and saying you have hot sauce in your purse and learning to do the electric slide. That wasn't working. So they brought in people who had a proximity to our complexion. Reach new. Hi. That's what they do. Right, Cheryl? Get rich off of us. And everybody in the world talks about, oh, Americans are this, Americans are not smart, Americans this, Americans that. These people don't like us, guys. They are not breaking into our country because they love America. Quite the opposite. They're breaking in because they hate America. Lane Drew, right. Kamala is not black. And that's the other thing that we got to normalize. I'm a black American person. I'm not an African. Good Lord. Africans come from Africa. I'm from Florida. I am from Florida. And that's something else that they're trying to push. So, you know what? Since I got y'all here and I got my folks, I know we got some trolls in and out. I got DS on it. I got Queena on it. I got my new buddy, keeping the chat safe. Thank y'all so much. Bentley is holding it down. But, why, thank you, Southbound. Another thing that the Democrats have done that I have a huge problem with. Are y'all aware that they have supposedly spent $500,000 for DNA kits to go to Chicago, Illinois. Have y'all heard about that? Hey, Tanya Yates, welcome. Devin the dude. Devin the dude, I know you from TikTok. How you doing? Mm-hmm. And you should be too. I'ma message you in TikTok. But $500,000 to send DNA kits to Chicago, Illinois. Cheryl, yes, girl. Yes, that is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you why they're doing it, lag plays. See, a lot of y'all don't know, but I want y'all to know what's going on. Okay? Yes, Queena, that's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So listen, and let me tell you why they're doing it. Why they're doing it is because there is a situation that's happening where Black Americans are using the term and picking up the ideology of delineation. So let me explain what that means, because I know for a lot of y'all, it doesn't apply to you because your complexion isn't like this. I'm gonna tell you, Southbound Redneck, when I tell you what's going on, you're gonna be like, oh hell no. Trust me, I'm gonna land and y'all gonna get this, okay? And you're gonna notice that you're blocked. This is not a channel where you come in here and act like a weirdo. If you can't behave yourself, you just get out. We like civilized people. So listen, so Black people that look like this, because we're all Americans, and I'm not interested in the color thing because y'all know the only colors we recognize on this channel are red, white, and blue. We're Americans first, okay? But people who look like me are delineating. And what that means is from now on, immigrants or illegal aliens who have a complexion that's similar to ours will no longer be able to hide behind people, Americans who look like me. That means they will not be able to go and run for office and pretend to be Black American. We're going to cut that off at the knees. They will not be able to go and get scholarships and, subsidized loans and business loans and pretend to be Americans who look like me. It's going to cut out a lot of the stuff that they were doing and hiding behind Black American people. Hey, Jamie Baker, that's right. No more free handouts. And you know what else that's going to do? Y'all going to love this. The other thing that it's going to do is situations like the one we see up there in Washington, D.C., where our president is being forced to bring in the National Guard to clean things up because they're saying, oh, it's homeless people. But did y'all ever stop to look at the background of some of these so-called homeless people? You're right, Kayam. The Democrats are cooked. Well, listen. A lot of those people that are up there trying to turn our nation's capital into a third world country are from third world countries. But because they have complexions that are similar to Americans who look like me, they're pretending, see, they're over policing Black people. No, they're not. They're picking up immigrants. They're picking up these illegal aliens who have made it their business to invade our country illegally and turn it into the very places they are running from. And the veterans that are there, they're going to help them. I believe in my heart I need to. Because if I don't believe that in my heart, then I would just be absolutely ready to give up, right? So that's what's going on. So, when we start delineating and separating ourselves and making it clear, we are Americans and we're Americans first, and we are absolutely going to protect the country that we live in because this is our home. That's why you got Democrats spending $500,000 sending DNA kits to Chicago, Illinois. Guess what's happening in Chicago? Because I know a lot of you guys are not paying attention to it. And I get it. It's so much going on in the world. How in the world can you watch everything? But let me tell you what happened. Okay, Joseph? So, the issue that Democrats are having is that Americans, because we're going to use that term a lot on this channel, Americans who look like me in Chicago, Illinois, have left the Democrat plantation. They're not interested anymore. They're absolutely supporting ICE. They are absolutely in support of cleaning up their neighborhoods, cleaning up their city, and getting those people out of there. So what do the Democrats do? They did what they do all the time. They want to race bait. You heard me, right? They're heading into Chicago, Illinois with DNA kits because they want to say, see, Americans with this complexion, there has to be some African in you. So if you're related to one of the immigrant groups, then you should be supporting them. You should be defending them. Because the Democratic Party right now, y'all, they are panicking. They are having a whole hissy fit because they want Americans who look like me to run out there and protest and obstruct justice and be against ICE and stop those fine people from doing their jobs. And because we are supporting them, they are panicking. That's all that's going on. They're spending money to try to race bait, $500,000 in an effort to race bait Americans who look like me into getting us into that. So we're not getting into it. We support our federal agents. Right now we're supporting our president because we got to work with him because that's who we got. And you know what else? Shame on anybody. Shame on anyone who is praying for a president of the country that you got to live in to fail just because you didn't get the person you wanted. Whoever you got, it's only 4 years. Vote again. Vote again. That's all you got to do. That's it. You don't have to be upset. Just wait 4 years and vote again. But praying for the president that you have to fail because you didn't get your way, it's very Democrat. Very Democrat. Okay? So that's what's going on because I know a lot of people are not aware of what's happening. It's becoming a huge thing. It's gotten so interesting that my daughter, before we get on to Jasmine Crockett, because we got to talk about her, my daughter pointed me in the direction of TikTok. Well, I've been on TikTok for about 3.5 weeks, maybe a little more, because I wanted to see what was going on. And y'all would not believe the things that I've seen. There are immigrants on TikTok yelling, screaming, threatening, name calling. They are attacking Americans on every level. On every level. And it's bad. So it's like, she just wanted me to see. She was like, Mama, it is not what you think. This is what's really going on. So I had to see it for myself. Dog walk rehab, yep, it's all by design. It's all by design. Well then, Shelly, if my thought process is insane, let me help you lead. Because you're supposed to be giving your opinion of topics, not attacking me, dear. You'll be okay. Tilly says, I refuse to go on TikTok. I just can't. I refused for a long time. And then you know what, Tilly? I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I looked because I wanted to see firsthand. And girl, some of those videos will really shock you. They will shock you. I could never be Candace Owens. She's not, I'm not even going to start insulting that lady. Because I have nothing against her. But I could never be her and she could never be me. So let's get on to Jasmine Crockett's story. Okay? Because I saw people that really had a lot to say, and I do too. And I do too. Um, Apparently, all right, so we got another ignorant person. Y'all flood my chat with American flags. And we got somebody else that just can't catch up with life. Are you for or against Trump? I'm for America. And right now, that's our president. So I support whatever president is in office when they're doing their job. Hope that helps. So, look, look. Good old Jasmine. Jasmine Crockett, y'all, has lost her seat in the Senate. Thank you. I love seeing that red, white, and blue. It picks up my energy. Thank you. Thank you. So, look, Texas passed a redistricting map. So they changed the congressional districts. And the GOP picked up 5 seats. Democrats lost 5 seats. And Jasmine, her seat is kind of gone. Like, I'm sure she's going to finish out. I mean, nobody said she went up in smoke. But I'm just saying, like, this is interesting. It sounds like she's eliminated. I mean, that's what they're saying. Like, I'm just reporting what the people are saying. Harry Burnett, I agree. Jasmine is awful. I don't like her. I don't like her. Mm-mm. First Amendment USA, just so you know, please stop calling Americans with my complexion Africans. We're not Africans. That's a bit of a racial slur. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. So let's pull up what's being said so we can look at it together, because it looks like that they're saying that she's been, eliminated. Kitty, she is horrible representation. Right, Alvin, we're just Americans. And we're not immigrants. So no, I don't really like the idea of people sitting around calling people Africans. There's a whole big old continent over there. You can go see lots of Africans. I'm not even, digital warrior, maybe you have African heritage. I don't even have that. So let's not do that either. Let's not do that. We're just Americans. Right, Laura. Americans come in many colors. Thank you, Kitty. John Wesley, I don't wish her any ill will either. Tracy, I agree. Race is dividing America, and let's let it go. Ivory Kisses asks, why don't I like Jasmine? You're supposed to be giving opinions, but I'll answer your question. I don't like her because I don't like what she represents. I don't like that she behaves the way she does in public. I don't like the name calling and cursing in public. I don't like any of those things. I don't like the way she, behaves herself and kind of puts herself out there as a representative for Americans with my complexion. I don't like it. I don't. I don't like the fact that we can find older footage of her when she didn't speak and behave the way she does, and it seems very disingenuous and very fake. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Not one bit. All right, bye, Buck. Mm-hmm. So let's pull up what's being said. Tilly says, can you imagine speaking? Could you imagine her speaking for you, representing you? She's very unprofessional and emotional. And I think she's also a bad person. She's a bad person. Mm-mm. She's a bad person. I literally saw her like flip her wig around and say that we needed to keep illegals here because y'all don't want to get out there and pick no, what did she say, pick vegetables that do no farming and work in the fields. And I don't know, to me it just sounded like she was making an argument for slavery or something close to it. It just seemed weird. I didn't like her. Okay, and you're gonna go because I'm not lying on her. She did those things. That's what she said. She said a lot of things that I thought were a problem. I didn't like it. And I don't like the fact that she's trying to con people who look like me. She's a con artist. And I don't care for that sort of person. Right, Cam. Tell him again. She absolutely said it. Rude one, listen. Okay, Rude one says, I'm from Texas and I'm shocked how much she changed in such a short time. I think it's because, number one, there's a lot being said about her background. You know, Miss Crockett went to private schools. I think she was originally from, was it Arkansas? And then she went to college in Texas. So she's not a Texan. And then when I went to look up the background of her parents to try to see exactly who we're dealing with here. Right, Shaken Winter. I don't know why they don't get it. Keep up with the convo, right? But hold on. I'm trying to keep up with what y'all are saying too. Craig says we need to stop airing our internet fight to the world. We sure do. We sure do. Missouri, that's where she was originally from. Right, Bolin Amaru. Thank you. I thought it was Arkansas, Missouri. But I knew she wasn't originally a Texan. So, right, Leg, I saw that her parents were well off, and that's not a crime. Right, Shaken Winter. You don't have to like the president to support America. That's true. And you should support the country you have to live in anyway. Right, Mora. Half of Texas is not from Texas. I was in Texas for a good old 10 years, and I'm a Floridian. So you're right. But I was just talking about, background. So I wasn't able to find out where her parents were originally from. Like, I just had questions about it because her behavior seems so disingenuous. It seems so fake. And I just wanted to know, like, are we dealing with an American at all? And it's so sad that we've allowed things to get so far out of control that we don't know who we're dealing with. Constitutionalist News says she doesn't rep Texas or America. She reps her pockets. And she does. And she does. Linda, I'm not mad at anybody. When did I act like I was mad? I don't even frown. I don't want lines in my face. Laura W, but that's what she does. When you watch her older recordings, she could form a sentence. She spoke like a normal person. And now it's this whole cosplay, fake black scent, wig flipping situation everywhere she goes. Her neck is flying all over the place. She's insulting people. Anyone who asks questions, she starts insulting them. I'm not a fan. Right, Adrian? Really fake. So let's pull up what the people are saying because I was just yeah, so that is what they're saying. Let me find an article that we can all take a look at. Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's legit. And it's saying that she's considering running for a different congressional district because the seat that she had is no longer there. Right, Holly? Very shady, very fake. Clyde Brown, how would I know what tribe she's from? I don't know if she is from a tribe. How would I know that? Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me catch up to some comments. Mm-hmm. Robert Wood says there's people on here saying she's the best congressperson ever. Are they delusional? What has she done for anybody? Nothing. You know, we were on here one night and your mama, we're talking about her congressional seat, dear. Just her seat, not her life. Her seat. I'm so tired of these people. I listen, it doesn't matter how many times you say Epstein to me. I don't have the files. If I had them, I would go live from my main channel and read every last one of them. I don't have them, but I would love to have them. I would. So let's grab CBS's article. Let's take a look. I don't want to play a video. Okay, here we go. Let's flip it and let's look. Right, Stephen. I'm over it. Digital Warrior, Kamala and AOC do that accent switch too. They're very weird. So let's flip the screen. Okay. So y'all, this is what CBS says about the situation with Jasmine. Yeah, so her original seat appears to truly have been eliminated. It says the newly drawn contested congressional maps in Texas may prompt Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a Democrat from Dallas, to run in a neighboring district instead of the one she currently represents. So the redistricting did hit her district. For the people who thought it didn't affect her, it absolutely did. Okay? This comes as Texas House Democrats have made national news by breaking quorum for a second week to prevent the chamber from passing the new maps that are designed to give the GOP 5 new majority seats. In an interview for Eye on Politics on Wednesday, Crockett accused Republicans of intentionally drawing her out of her district, District 30, under the newly proposed maps. Due to that, she said she's considering running for the newly drawn 33rd Congressional District, where her home will be if the new maps are approved by Texas Republicans. I'm debating about where I will run, where they put me, which is where I live in 33. Crockett has served in the 30th congressional seat since January of 2023, and her district is, Lord, all the pop-ups. And her district is mostly in Dallas County, but also has some constituents in Tarrant County. While the boundaries of her district would change, it's still considered a Democratic majority seat and will have a majority of Black Americans. Okay? Now, what I find interesting is CNN's wording. It's still going to be majority Black American. That's not going to be enough to save Jasmine. I fear. I fear because something's changing. Something in the atmosphere is changing. And the thing that's changing is identity politics is not going to work anymore. I don't think. I think a lesson has been learned. Use uBlock origin extension to keep the pop-ups at bay. Thank you. Ooh, Scrub Mama G has an opinion on Jasmine. She says Jasmine puts on a show. She's beautiful on the outside but seems hateful. Is she beautiful? Richard Kelly, I agree. Jasmine is cooked. Yep, Gary. Gary says you're still right. Politics, identity politics is out of the window. It is. Cheryl, people are waking up, and I'm telling y'all, I've said it on. Hi, Terrence. Love you back. Let me tell y'all something. I said it before, and I'll say it again. We are going to have to stop fighting with each other. Right, Sherry? We're Americans. We cannot afford to keep fighting with each other. We have too many enemies of this country that are benefiting from us fighting each other. Hi, Eric. Welcome. They benefit. One of the things that I've heard a lot of the immigrants and foreign people say online when they can't get Americans with my complexion to agree with their illegal activities, right? The first thing they say is, go fight white people. And it's like, I remember when I first heard it, I said, that's a weird thing to say. Number one, nobody's fighting you. They're just saying they're going to delineate from you. And they're not going to let you hide behind a proximity or a closeness to their complexion anymore. You're going to have to wear your immigrant badge loud and proud. You can no longer hide behind Americans with my complexion. Like, it's not going to work anymore. It's not okay, right? So that was number one. And then why would you tell Americans with my complexion to go fight Americans with a light complexion? What's the purpose of us fighting with each other? And the fact that I saw so many of them say it, I said, oh, that's what they're after. They want us to fight each other. They want Americans to fight Americans so that they can continue to benefit from us fighting each other. They can benefit from race baiting and fear mongering and then say, oh, well, go fight with them, and we'll stay over here and say that we're you. We got to stop. We have got to stop, y'all. We cannot fight each other anymore. We cannot afford it. Adventures with Beppy. Love you back. Kayam said, how much of that education did her parents pay for? I'm sure they paid for all of it. We got to stop it. We cannot afford to do it. You got to watch. Right, Shaquem Winter. Fear is control. Fear is control. And we cannot do it. Anytime Democrats are not getting their way, if you watch them, give them 5 to 7 days, they will come up with something and they'll say, look what they're doing to black people. Y'all, stop falling for that. Stop it. Just cut it out. Because a lot of these people are not Americans at all. They're not. We're Americans. When you come to this channel, that's why I told you, we do not do the race politics over here. We're not interested. Digital Warrior, thank you. I'm sure your complexion is lovely too. Sean Liddick says this lady is exactly right. Neither side gives a crap, so stop fighting over politics. There you go. All we got to do is figure out that we can't fight each other anymore. At this point, y'all, it's been 400 years. Ain't y'all tired? I'm tired. I know that sounded extremely country, and I meant it that way. Ain't y'all tired? I am tired. I don't want to fight no more. I told y'all before, and I'm telling you again, we have more in common with each other than we do with anybody from another country. At this point, get over it. Okay? Nobody is fans of America. They're not fans of ours. They don't like us. These people, they just want to use us. They want to take what we have. That's it. Peter, I'm retired. I've raised 3 children of my own and a couple that aren't mine. I'm somebody's grandma. I have a right to be tired. Okay? So we just have to do better. Like, we got to stop tussling with each other. We got to learn how to laugh at the things that we do, that we all do collectively, the things that one group or the other may do. And we got to recognize that we're all we have. Like, let's not be silly here. We can't afford it. We simply can't. But yeah, so that's kind of one of those things I did want to bring up. Right, Queena, they never liked us here. Those people, they come in from other countries. They'll say anything to get in the door, and the minute they're in, oh, we get here and we're doing so much better than Americans. You're not. This is just better than that place you moved here from. They sit in other countries and talk about our education system. They talk about everything. But the same people who dog out the American education system, y'all pay attention. They will break 2 million laws to move over here to use the same education system that they downgrade and talk crap about. Hey, Pierre St. Germain. Texas Grand said, I'm tired too. Let's get along. Yes. Let's get along. Right, Cheryl? It's just the truth. We y'all, we have us a foreigner in the chat. Italian Tidbit says, we do not want what you have. We want the USA to stop meddling in other countries' affairs. Well, we would love that. We would love that too, because we don't want to give any more money. We don't want to give any more money to any other country. So we agree with you there. Totally agree with you. Robert Woods. Hi, Robert. Robert says, I'm with you. I'm 75 years old and a great grandfather with 6 kids and 10 grandchildren. Congratulations. 7 great grands. So I'm tired of all the negativity. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. I don't have the strength anymore. And when it comes to people moving in from outside, we can simply choose not to engage. We don't have to engage with those people. When we see them on social media, do what y'all been seeing me do all day. Block them. Block them. Now, Vicky Grawcock. Okay. Vicky says Jasmine would do better being an influencer, internet influencer, as a congresswoman if she can't yell, over talk, or throw a big hissy fit about Trump. She has nothing to do with it. Funny you say that, Vicky, because her staff, this is what her staff said about her. They said that she is almost never in the office and seems more focused on being an influencer. So maybe she agrees with you. Thank you, Michelle Silman. Welcome. Peter McGilton says, and we would like the foreigners to get out that did not do it legally. I agree. I agree. If you're not here legally and you do not want to assimilate to American culture, just leave. Just leave. Scrub, I will. Like, I wanted to do a call-in show and let people call in and give their opinions. If y'all are up to doing a call-in show, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat, and I'll switch to call-in. Oh, Lord. Here's another one. President Camacho. We're talking about her congressional seat. The lady's still alive. I don't know who this person is, but this is an American chat, not an African chat. So, Jonathan Guerra. If you really care about USA, you should ask the younger generation what they think. I did, and they want immigrants gone too. They do, because they're tired of being insulted by those people. Oh, I see ones. Y'all want to do a call in? Okay, so let me set it up really quick. It takes like a second, because I want to hear from you guys. Like, I don't feel like I'm talking to celebrities. Digital warrior, you're Canadian? Okay, but you work for the U.S. military in Okinawa. All right. Thank you, Kayam. The young people are not fans of this. which is why my daughter sent me over to TikTok so I could see what young people think about the mess that's going on, because this is the world that they have to inherit, and they have a right to not want it destroyed by people who truly hate their guts. They shouldn't have to deal with that. I have a new member, Scrub Mama G. She's joined. She's one of the Eagles now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you. All right. So let me put, I'm going to set up the call in, and then I want you guys to call in and give me your opinions firsthand. Well, President Camacho, I don't know who you are. Interesting name. But I was told to by another member of the chat to see what the young people want, and the young people said they want them gone. So how are you? Who are you to say that they don't have a right to their opinion? They may be young people, but they're Americans. This is their home. People have a right to say who they want and don't want in their homes. That's just weird. Don't be weird. Okay. I am so excited because I get to hear from you guys firsthand. Okay, so let me set this up. Dougie, I stand behind ICE too. Right, Bobby. They're not all illegal. I don't know why some people are just so unhinged. We're perfectly okay with people who want to obey the law. We're just not okay with people who, think it's okay to break the law coming into the country. Okay, I don't know who you are. Moonlight Pegasus. Interesting name, but do not spam my chat. I saw you the first time and ignored you. So if I ignored you the first time, I'm going to ignore you the second time. Nobody's judging me based off of heritage. I'm an American. I have American heritage. Okay, well, let's get you out of here, because apparently you don't like Americans and you don't think Americans should have a right to say what they want. And we do have a right to do that. I cannot wait to hear from you guys. And Bentley, man, I love Bentley. Bentley is like one of my newest favorite people on the planet, just so y'all know, because Bentley does not play with that wrench. Bolan Amaru, I don't know what he was on about. Oh, wow. Scrub Mama G, thank you for the super sticker. Wow, this is my first support of the whole stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Mike KD, I hope y'all are coming over to the call-in, because it's on this same channel. If y'all check, make sure you can see it first. Madigan says they're not just deporting illegal immigrants, though they're taking legal residents and sending them to El Salvador. Well, I haven't seen that, and when I see it, then I'll be concerned. I promise I will, because I care about people. So if that's really happening when I see it, then I'll be concerned. Right, Robert Woods, I agree. Thank you, DS. I don't know why these people are so angry. Madigan, if it's really happening, I shouldn't have to look for it, right? It should be right there, right? I shouldn't have to go searching for it. Exactly, Robert Woods. Robert, please call in. I'm turning the call in on right now. I'm going to go ahead and get that one cranked up, but I want to make sure y'all can find me first. Hold on. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. So let's switch. All right. So the call in is live, okay? So it's still on this channel. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to hit the end button, but that one is live. So as soon as you close out of this one, you should be able, if you stay on my channel, you'll still be able to see the call in. Everybody who hit the one, y'all come call in. I cannot wait to talk to you guys, okay? Come on, come on. Come on over.